Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Business Innovators Radio. I'm excited today because I have Tim Bowen with me of Austin, Texas. Tim is the owner of Austin Roofing and Construction. He's done a lot of construction over the years. He is no stranger to all types of construction. And currently, Tim's business has been going for 3 years. And before that, he's been in business for 18 years because he's done things like horse barns. He's done lots of remodeling, different types of construction. And what he's doing right now is exterior work, which includes roofing, siding, and gutters. And Tim is a preferred contractor with Owens Corning. And if you know the status on that, it's not an easy thing to get a preferred status with Owens Corning, as it takes some work, it takes some time, dedication, and many other things. So, Tim, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're sure glad to have you, Tim. I want to ask you first to tell me about your business and the types of customers you help.
Our business is basically based on community. As our slogan says, we are local people helping local people. Well, what that means is we do honest work for a fair price. Our customer base is typically homeowners. We pick up light commercial, but we try to focus on our homeowners. And in doing that, we allow them the opportunity to donate 1% of the gross sales to the local charity of their choice. And that helps us get back into the community. And we buy everything locally. We try to do everything we can to stay within our community and get into our outreach programs.
Now, I like that a lot. I've not heard anybody say that. Now, for the charity, when they donate, is there a common one that people are sending money to, or is there just all over the board?
There are, here in Austin, it's pretty animal friendly. So a lot of what we get is the local animal shelters. And we do pick up quite a bit of the children's shelters as well, and the food banks and the homeless shelters. It's really a pretty broad spectrum, but I think the one that we get most is going to be the animal shelters.
What's your favorite charity?
My favorite charity is my own charity. It's called Roofing Austin Weird, and we if the customer doesn't have a charity that they choose, we put the money towards that. And that helps homeowners that have been scammed by other roofing contractors.
Wow, awesome. I've got a question I'm going to ask you later, and that will really fit in nicely. Well, that's neat. I've never heard that before. I really like the sound of that. So tell me, how did you get started in this field? What did you wake up one day and go, hey, this is what I want to do, or how did it happen?
Well, I actually grew up in a family of masons. And I learned real quick that that's not something I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
Now, real quickly, explain what a mason is so the audience knows.
Stone masons, brick masons, rock and block masons.
Right, people that lay brick, stone.
Yes.
That kind of thing with cement and such. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And like I said, I learned real quick that I didn't want to be in that. From the early age of 14, 15 years old, I was carrying mud and carrying brick, and I realized I didn't want to do it. But I ventured off into some other construction projects, and I picked up a contract with one of the local metal roofing supply companies, and I was doing a lot of their metal roofs. And I really enjoyed roofing because it's quick. You get in, you get out, you move on to the next one.
Now, what was it about mason stuff you didn't like?
It's backbreaking.
It is backbreaking. I've done some of that.
It's very backbreaking. When I was younger, I thought I enjoyed it. And as I got older and I realized that the wear and tear that it was putting on my body was going to put me in an early grave, I backed out pretty quick.
I don't blame you. So the roofing, you got into it because when you did some roofing jobs, you found that it was your cup of tea.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do enjoy it. Metal is my specialty. And I got in with, like I said, one of the local metal roofing supply houses, and we were doing a lot of those, and that's when I decided to zero in my focus on just exteriors.
Okay, good. Now, and is that when you started the 3 years ago thing, or did you figure out the roofing deal before that?
It was before that. I started doing the metal roofs about 12 years ago. And I was doing those intermittently, and we were still holding on to the other projects, but it worked with the roofing, because it was, when you do remodels, you're on that project for months. You're on that project for an extended period of time. And it's a lot nicer when you can get in, get the project done, and get out. And metal roofs were typically in 3 or 4 days.
Okay. Well, now let me ask you this. Do you have, first of all, you have hailstorms and such down in Austin, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's say you get a hailstorm and somebody gets their roof beat up, but let's say it's almost golf ball size, maybe a little smaller, maybe a little bigger here and there. And so they're thinking, well, I probably got damaged because I have a window busted, roof is probably damaged. So they call you up and they say, Tim, come check out my roof. So what is your process for doing this? How do you evaluate it for the customer?
Well, we schedule it. I set up a time, I come by, and I take a look at it. And, of course, you have to have so many hits within 100 square feet. Most insurance companies require hits that are going to damage the mat of the shingle. And once I get up and evaluate and I determine if there's enough damage for me to file a claim, I have them contact their insurance company.
Okay. And so when they do, they're going to get an adjuster. Yes,
the adjuster comes out, he takes a look at it. And typically when I tell them to call the insurance company, there is enough damage. We don't normally have to call for a second meeting with the adjuster. The adjuster will come out, he'll evaluate it, he'll determine the cost that it's going to take to replace the roof, and he will give the homeowner their paperwork, along with either giving them a check that day or mailing them a check for what's called the actual cash value of the roof. And that's what the roof is worth as it sits.
So if there's a depreciation on it, they're not going to get what they paid for the roof if it's like, say, 10 years old.
Well, they have to get the work done in order to recover the depreciation. What happens is that's when they send me the paperwork, I schedule their roof, I come out, I do the roof, and then I bill the insurance company for the depreciation. And then that's when they send basically what's called the replacement cost, the final check to the homeowner, so that they get the full value less their deductible.
Okay. Now, when an adjuster comes out, have you found very often that they've underestimated what was wrong and you had to have them adjusted?
It's not very often. It does happen. They miss, say, in a hailstorm, there are gutters and downspouts that get damaged, and there are window screens that get damaged, or even windows. And often, not often, but sometimes they do miss those things. And all you do is you submit to the insurance company for the extra amount that it's going to take to repair that. And they typically pay.
And I'm sure the homeowner appreciates that.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it needs to get fixed, then they want to make sure that it gets paid for.
Right. Now, what sets you apart from your competitors? Why would someone want to hire you to get their roof done versus your competitors? What is your process for getting that across to them?
That's tough. I mean, there are quite a few reputable roofing companies here in Austin that, if I wasn't a roofer, I would use them to do my roof. But, we give back to the community. We stay local. We buy everything local. And we use our Owens Corning shingles are made right here in Texas. So we stay as local as we can stay. And I think that resonates really well with people.
Mm-hmm. Now, are the Owens Corning shingles made in Austin?
No, they're actually made in Irving.
In where?
Irving.
Irving?
Yes, Irving, Irving, Texas.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
up near Dallas.
Okay. Let's see. That's what, 5-6 hours from you? I'm not sure. I don't have the map.
Dallas is about 3.5 hours.
Okay. Well, being that close to you, then you can probably get a pretty good price on them, can't you? Or do you have to buy them through a store?
No, I don't actually buy them directly from Owens Corning. I use a local supplier here, somebody that buys them directly from the manufacturer.
Okay. Good. Okay, well, now with repairing roof damage from storms and such, as you know, there's a lot of jobs that are insurance related and such, and it can be confusing for the homeowner to know what to do because there's various issues in their insurance they might need help with to understand. So describe what you do to help them and to make your customers get the biggest bang for their buck.
Well, that's why they call us first, and even the insurance company will tell you to call a roofer and have them come out and assess the damage. Because if we show up and the damage is minimal and it won't meet their deductible, then there's no point in them filing the claim and having that on their insurance credit score. Now, it does with hail and wind damage. It's not supposed to raise your premiums, but if you file a claim and that claim gets denied, it goes against your insurance credit score. So we come out, we assess it, we take a look at it, and if it's a small repair, we give them a price and our recommendation. They don't always go with it, but sometimes they'll end up calling their insurance company if we tell them, it's probably not their best interest. But most of the time, we give them a price to do the repair work, and if it looks like there's enough damage there to justify a claim, we tell them to file the claim.
Okay. Now, you said something interesting I've not heard anyone say, and I've always wondered about that, is the insurance, what did you call it, credit score. So is that a ding against you if you file a claim and there's no claim to be filed necessarily? Yeah,
that's one of the biggest misconceptions in this field is that if you file a claim and it gets denied, it's no big deal. They just said no. But it actually does show up on your report that you filed a claim. Say you go to switch insurance companies. It's going to show up that you filed a claim and it was denied. So it does affect your insurance credit score.
Okay. I don't know if you know, but does that mean like if they went to another insurance company later on that they may get charged more because they're filing claims that weren't good or something?
Yeah, it's possible that they are looking for fraudulent claims or claims that aren't legitimate. So it does. It affects whoever the upcoming insurance company is. It affects how they look at you and how they rate you and how they price you.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, what's the most common obstacle you have found that homeowners have when they go looking for a reputable roofer? And I ask you this because earlier you said you even have a charity set aside if they don't come up with one. You have one set aside to help people who have been scammed.
Yes.
So talk about that.
Let me see. What was the original question you were asking about? How they find a reputable?
Well, yeah. Well, first of all, what's the most common obstacle homeowners face to find a roofer they can trust and rely on?
Well, that's just due diligence. Most of our business comes from referrals. We are referred by customers that we have made happy, and customers that know that if there is an issue, we're going to come back and we're going to take care of it. And a lot of companies will say if there's a hailstorm and you got people out there knocking on doors, trying to get people to sign up with them. A lot of those companies, they come into town, they go down, pick up a P.O. box, they get a cell phone, and they're here just long enough to get as much work as they can out of the storm, and then they're long gone. Used to, you could tell who they were by their phone number. Now you can't do that because they've got the ability to get a local number. So the best plan of action for a homeowner to take is to go online, find the company, find the company's name, look for reviews, check them on the Better Business Bureau. You can look for reviews on any number of search engines. And if you can find reviews, good or bad, they've been around. If you can't find any reviews, they haven't been around.
Okay. Simple as that. Good point. Now, talk a little bit more about the money you set aside for people who've been scammed. How does that work? What do you do with it? How do you know who to help and that kind of thing?
We do 5. Our goal every year is to do 5 roofs. What sparked it was I had a lady call in. She said that her insurance company had dropped her, and it caused a domino effect for her because they had paid for her roof to be replaced just 2 years earlier, and she hired a company to do it. And they came out, and they didn't tear the old roof off, and they did a pretty lousy job of putting the new roof on. So bad that the insurance company did a drive-by inspection, and he noticed it from the road, and that's why they canceled him. So
poor lady. This
lady is on a fixed income. She has a reverse mortgage on her home, and if she doesn't get insurance, her mortgage company is going to foreclose on her. Because it's either that or they're going to put forced insurance on her, which is, as you know, is pretty expensive. So she's in a bad spot, and it's all because this company showed up, did a lousy job, and took her money and left. They left town. She couldn't get a hold of them. And that's what sparked me to say, okay, because when I show up there, there's nothing I can do. I can't just walk around giving away work every time somebody gets scammed. So we've set up a criterion, and if you meet that criterion and you fall within the 5 roofs that we're able to get done a year, and we're hoping to expand that year after year, then you'll get your roof replaced. Or if it's a shoddy repair job, we'll do the repair.
Okay, now how do they find you? Do you just get enough calls anyway that they just sort of find you anyway?
It's more or less something that we get sent through community outreach groups. It's not something that we advertise. We don't put it out there because, we'd be getting phone calls day in and day out from people looking for a handout, more or less.
You bet.
So we have community outreaches that know who we are and what we do. And, if somebody in their group ends up in that situation, we go out, we take a look at it, we talk with them. And if they fall within the parameters, we take care of them.
That is really fantastic. I've never heard of anybody doing that, ever.
I get that a lot. I've spoken with a lot of people, and I know that there's, I think, one other company up in the Dallas area that does it. I don't know how many roofs a year they do, or how often they do it, or how extensive their program is. I don't think that they put a certain percentage aside for it. I think they just they do the same thing. They speak to the community outreach programs and whoever needs it. They do the same thing. But you'd be surprised how many people I talk to have never heard of anything like this.
Yeah, well, that's neat. Well, let's wrap this up, Tim, and how can homeowners and other people that are needing construction services like what you offer, how can they learn more about your company?
They can go to our website, www.austinroofingandconstruction.com. That's all spelled out. Or they can reach us on our business line, 512-629-4949. Or just get online and search for Austin Roofing and Construction. We're there.
Okay. Do you have a Facebook page?
Yes, we do, but I don't know what the name of that is.
Okay. Well, in case someone's on Facebook, they could certainly go there and look for Austin Roofing and probably find you, I'll bet.
Yeah, they should be able to.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. Well, Tim, this has been enlightening, and I really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you for your time.
Oh, I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.